Yarnsensation. Just click on my yarn lady or click the subscribe button. To get started, you want to leave about a 6-inch tail before you complete your slip knot. And to complete the slip knot, just grab that point at where you want to start and just make a loop, turn it, place your hook into the center, pull your yarn through, and you want to chain 15. Okay, for row 1, you will be placing 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So you will skip this first stitch right here, or first chain, and place your hook in the second chain. And complete your single crochet. And next you just want to place 1 single crochet in each chain across, and we will meet back at the end. The row 1, you will have a total of 14 single crochets, and at this point, if you want to use your stitch markers or that piece of yarn as a way to mark your rows, you can do it at this step. Okay, next you will chain 1 and we will start row 2. Turn your work. You want to place 1 single crochet into that first stitch and 1 single crochet in each stitch across. And when you get to your last stitch, remember, do not remove the stitch marker. If you're using it for a marker, just go ahead and place that last single crochet into that stitch. And you can come on this side and place that next stitch marker for your marker for row 2. Okay, next we will go to row 3. So just chain 1, turn your work. So for row 3, it will be a repeat of row 2, and what you will be doing is repeating row 2 for rows 3 through 28, and that is just 1 single crochet across, and at the end of each row, remember to chain 1, turn your work, and then single crochet back across. And if you need to use your stitch markers, remember to place that stitch marker after you complete a row, and we will meet back at the end of row 28. Okay, I am still crocheting. I have completed row 27, and I just wanted to share what my work looked like at this point. I have been using the stitch markers, and I am going to start row 28, and right now this is the wrong side of the project. So row 28, you will be working on the back side or the wrong side of the fabric. I just wanted to share that tip with you. And another way to tell that you're on the wrong side is this yarn tail will be on the right. So I'm just going to complete across row 28. Chain 1, turn your work. You'll be back on the right side of your fabric, and that yarn tail will be on the left side. So go ahead and complete that last row, row 29. And the best part of this row is you will not need that stitch marker, but it's still good to check to make sure that you still have that one stitch marker left, that you have completed the last row of the front side. Once we get to the end of the row, I will show you how I fasten off the work. And this is my last single crochet. And what I would do normally is place that last stitch marker. So I do have it, and I can place it, but you do not have to place it because this is the last row. Okay, so when I fasten off, let me undo that chain. So for me, when I fasten off, I just chain 1, and for this particular project, you need a yarn tail about 25 inches long. Okay, once you have cut that yarn, just pull it, that yarn tail, pull it all the way through, and just pull on that to make sure that it is tight. And at this point, you can remove all your stitch markers. Okay, at this point, our front panel is complete. So if you need your stitch markers, go ahead and remove them. You will be using them again to do the back panel. The back panel is exactly like this, only exception you will not need this long yarn tail. So once you complete those steps, just place it to the side and we can start our back panel. Okay, let's start our back panel. Same steps. You just want to leave a yarn tail long enough to weave into the body of your work. Start with that slip knot. And what we will do is work the first couple of rows together, and you're welcome to use your stitch marker as row counters if need be. And to get started, you just want to chain 15. Once you have 15, you will complete 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook and 1 single crochet in each chain across. Once you complete row 1, chain 1, turn your work. Row 2, 1 single crochet in that first stitch and 1 single crochet in each stitch across. Total will be 14. Once you get at the end of row 2, you want to chain 1, turn your work, and you just want to repeat row 2 until you have a total of 29 rows, and we will meet back at the end. Once you complete your last row on the back panel, you just want to fasten it off and leave about a 6-inch tail to weave into the back of your work. We have completed both our panel pieces. Our back panel will be the one with the 2 short yarn tails. You can place it to the side for now. And our front panel will be the one with the short tail and your long tail, that 25-inch. And right now you're looking at the front side. If you notice, both yarn tails will be to the left of your project. Both are on the left, right side. And if you turn it over, that's the wrong side, and you'll know it's the wrong side because both yarn tails will be on the right side. And what you will do next is just take this long yarn tail, placing it on the wrong side or the back side. Grab your hairpin, bobby pin, on the back, because they get in your way as you're doing your work. You can go ahead and weave this yarn tail into your work, but make sure that you are weaving it to the wrong side of your fabric. Okay, you can put your main color away to the side for right now and grab that second color. And remember, the top of the front panel will be the side that you attach your chain to. So what I need you to do is just turn it upside down. You will be attaching the second color to the bottom, and you want to join it at row 2. So remember, this is row 1 and this will be row 2. You will not be joining on the edge of this first stitch right here. Instead, you will be joining at this single crochet right here, the second one. So just place your hook beneath that stitch. It will be sitting on top of your hook, and you just want to pull that second color through. Let go of that yarn tail, chain 1, give this yarn tail a little tug. That's just to make sure that it's not slacking any. Next, you will place your hook beneath that same stitch, and what I will be doing is carrying this yarn tail. So just place it on top of your hook, grab that yarn and pull it back beneath that stitch. 2 loops on the hook, pull your yarn through both loops, and you completed that first single crochet. So next, you will be completing 1 single crochet across every stitch, but do not complete one on this last stitch at the end. And also carry this yarn tail, carry it maybe 4 or 5 more stitches, and you can let it go. And I feel like I have carried this yarn tail enough. I'm just going to push it out of my way for now. If you want to carry it some more, you're welcome to do that. And I'm just going to continue those single crochets across. Okay, I completed my last single crochet. and I left this stitch, the last one, without a single crochet. Now what I'm going to do is chain 1, turn my work, and I still have my yarn tail, so I'm going to clip it off. And before you clip it, just give it a little tug and press your scissors down to the base. Make sure not to cut your other stitches and just cut it. After completing row 1, you will have a total of 13 stitches. And now we will do row 2, and for row 2 only, we will be single crocheting in our back loop only. And if you just turn it a little, I can show you the back loop. So you have that little V, and this will be the front, and here's the back. So you will be single crocheting into this back stitch only, and I will show you how. I'm just going to place my hook into this first stitch, back loop only, 1 loop on the hook, pull my yarn through and complete that single crochet. Go to my next back loop, lift it up, pull my yarn through, complete a single crochet. Go to the next stitch, lift up that back loop only, pull a yarn through, single crochet, and you just want to complete those steps across, and we will meet back at this last stitch. Okay, and I am completing that last single crochet. So we completed row 1 and row 2. Next, chain 1, turn your work. For rows 3 through 8, we will place 1 single crochet in each stitch across, and we will meet back. Okay, so I have completed row 8. Next thing you want to do is chain 1, and we will cut this yarn tail to about 9 inches. We will be using it to join our card pocket to our front panel. What you want to do is grab your yarn needle, and what we want to do is not go through, as we're joining this to the front panel, you should not see this color or whatever color you're using if you chose to use a different color on this back side. So to prevent that, what you will be doing is just lining up your pocket, making sure that it is even across. And what I would do is take a stitch marker and look like it's falling right on this row, and just join it into place, so that way it will prevent it from moving around as you work on the other side. And just eyeball on this side where you need to be, and what you want to do is you will just be lifting that top stitch, just like that. Pull your yarn through, and then what you want to do is go back through that same stitch, back through that top stitch. You will see a loop. Go through that loop, pull your yarn through, and it's secured. You just did a secure knot, and you want to go to the next stitch on your pocket and go to the back and just pick up one of your top stitches, pull that yarn through, go to the next top stitch, and go through the next stitch on your pocket, and you just will be repeating those steps down to the bottom. Okay, I'm at the bottom, so I'm just going to go through that last top stitch, pull my yarn through, make a secure knot by going back through the same stitch, the card pocket, and that top stitch, have that loop, take my yarn needle through the loop, pull and tighten. Next step, just weave in this yarn tail. Once again, avoid going onto your front panel. So what I do is I just stay on the side of it and just weave it into the inside. Once you complete this step, just go ahead and cut that yarn tail. Okay, and then you need to repeat the same step for this side. Okay, so what I did was cut about 12 inches of yarn. Once again, just thread it through that yarn needle. And what you can do is leave this stitch marker in place right now and just place that yarn needle into that same stitch. Go ahead and remove your stitch marker. Make sure that you're even with this side, and you just want to go through top stitch over here, pull that yarn through, leave a little tail, go back to the same stitch and complete that secure knot. Okay, and once you have your secure knot and you're okay that everything is even across, just repeat the same steps we did on this side. So next we will be completing our second pocket, and what you want to do is just eyeball it so you can see where the top of this first pocket lies, and then you have your next row, and then you have your second row, so you have your third row right here, and remember that will be a row with the bumps. It comes up. You want to skip this outer stitch, place your hook beneath that second stitch. Okay, so grab your yarn, the same color that you used for your first pocket, and if you wanted to use a different color, that's fine as well. And you just want to join that yarn, chain one, carrying your yarn tail, want to go back beneath that same stitch and complete a single crochet. And you will just be repeating the same steps that you did to make that first pocket. I have completed my second pocket, and just remember to line it up with the next row that you see. So we have this line, go ahead and add that stitch marker, and then use your steps by lifting up a top stitch over here and joining that pocket. And don't forget to do your secure knot, and do not go onto the outside of the fabric. And just repeat your steps to join it to the front panel on both sides, and we will meet back. Okay, so we have completed our back panel, front panel, and we completed our 2 pockets on the front panel. Wasn't bad at all, and it didn't take long. So the next thing we will be doing is you can go ahead and grab your back panel, and what you can do is go ahead and release that and just set that aside. So it's time for you to grab some more tools. You can measure if you need to for the center, but I'm just going to eyeball the center and come down 1, 2 rows and just place that male in. Looks okay for me. Look at the back to make sure that the prongs are setting it so. Grab your fastener. You can turn the work over. Place that fastener onto the prong. And grab your pliers and just press one side at a time. Press it until it won't go anymore, and then do the same for the other side. There's a lot of material, so it may give you a little issue at first, but you can work around it and close it, and then one final press and it's closed. Next, you need your back panel. The yarn tail will be on the left side. You will be looking at the right side, and we will be placing our magnetic snap at this end. So to make it easier to work, just spin it around. Now your yarn tail will be at the right side, and you want to place that magnetic snap, the female side, and you will place it on that second row and just center it. We have both pieces. We added our magnetic snaps to each end. So the next thing we will be doing is putting this together. Grab your yarn needle, thread your yarn on. Okay, and remember, this is the front side and this is the front side of your back panel. So you want to turn it over. The magnetic snap on the left side, and the front panel, the magnetic snap will be on the right side. And just put them together, and we will join it together. So you're at the top on this side where your yarn is coming out. Just place your yarn needle into that stitch and go to the back panel right up top, that first stitch. Go into that one, pull that yarn through, go back through again, making that loop and make that secure knot. Pull it, make sure it is secure. Okay, and just even your work. Put the stitch marker into your last stitch on both panels. So next you will just be going from the front, back, back, front, front, back, securing. Once you get to this stitch marker, remove it, complete a secure knot here, continue around by doing your front, back stitches. You get to this next corner, secure knot, continue with your front to back stitches, and at your last corner you will complete a secure knot. You do not want to stitch the open and close. This will be where you put your paper money. When you get to the pockets, it's a little tricky because you do not want your main color showing inside of your pockets. So just go right behind it. You got your pocket, and then you have your front panel, and you may have to dig on to the back, dig down a little, and just lift up that stitch and then go to the back. And just continue that across. Okay, I am at the last stitch in my corner, so I'm going to do that secure knot. Okay, and just weave in this yarn tail. Made it this far with completing our back panel, front panel, card pockets, magnetic snaps, and I also wanted to show you this so you won't think that you did anything wrong. When you complete that first row of your card pocket, you will have this little ridge on the back side. So it will be 2, but no problem because it's inside. Okay, so the next thing you will do is turn it to the wrong side. What we'll do is make a little cover up to glue to both of these. Grab your favorite glue, add some to your little cover-ups, to the back side of the cover-up, or the wrong side. And you're just going to place it onto your little prongs. And just flatten it out. Make sure that it's secured enough. Once you're satisfied with it, just flip it over and repeat the same steps for the second one. Just lay it to the side. You want to give it time to dry. And while it is drying, we will move on to the next step, the fun part of making a tassel.